want change. We want change. We want change. We want change. We want a change.
Kalentolu pule mulila pone. Ona kwa mulilia pone. Bakulu wa bakulu.
The sound magician. Wi-Fi on the beat, boy.
Twakupele voting atawa bomba e. Twakupele voting atawa bomba e. Tawali mone voting atawa bomba e. Tawali mone voting atawa bomba e. Bantuno mwaka kuya bebele. Twanakane mwe mwachira mobufi kuya bebele.
We want change. We want change. We want change. We want change. We want a change.
Kalentolu pule mulila pone. Ona kwa mulilia pone. Bakulu wa bakulu.
The sound magician. Wi-Fi on the beat, boy.
Twakupele voting atawa bomba e. Twakupele voting atawa bomba e. Tawali mone voting atawa bomba e. Tawali mone voting atawa bomba e. Bantuno mwaka kuya bebele. Twanakane mwe mwachira mobufi kuya bebele. Kuya bebele mwachira mobufi. Mwalitula ile ona lebwati mukesa tupangira kwemisebo. Walimepele nebo tati mukesa tupangira kwemisebo. Nimwewo mwatile mukesa tukulila nechipatala ifwe. Nimwewo mwatile mukesa tukulila na masukulu kuno. Ukutula potwa misalila ifwe. Walitula baona lebo imisebo ala yagonaika. Ichipatala takwaba kuno. Abana besu basambilila mufimuti fya mango. Bana mayo mapapila mungande zipatala takwaba kuno. Imisepila chose malofwa bapepa byebange. Fama lelilo mufunda tawafika nembuto tashafika. Ukutula potwa misalila ifwe. Walitula baona lebo nomba lelo mabwela imwe. Mulefwa ya tumivotere. Twakupele voting atawa bomba e. Twakupele voting atawa bomba e. Tawali mone voting atawa bomba e. Tawali mone voting atawa bomba e. Bantuno mwaka kuya bebele. Twanakane mwe mwachira mobufi kuya bebele. Kuya bebele mwachira mobufi. Uno mwaka tulefa yabakutubombera nota bakwisa kuno mukuzembereka. Mukutwibira mano nga twabapotera abaya. Nangu mwatupele ndalama tulepo katatwa mivotere. Nidonti kubeba wapoka walya. Nidonti kubeba wapoka walya. Ababina chimwe na mwekole uko bafuma balilaba. Bayi kutapiza bala boko bafuma. Bayi kutapai bala bati bakabwela. Balya chikini nena mabanu inapana kaso. Wala ona lebo mulabeja. Ukutula potwa misalila ifwe. Walitula baona lebo nomba lelo mabwela imwe. pour les fois tout me voter. Toi couper les voting gata wa bomba toi couper les voting gata wa bomba tawali mone voting gata wa bomba tawali mone voting gata wa bomba pantuno mwaka kuya bebele twana kanemwe mwachina mobufi kuya bebele akomwelele numa kuya bebele mwachina mobufi pantuno mwaka kuya bebele twana kanemwe mwachina mobufi kuya bebele akomwelele numa kuya bebele mwachina mobufi pantuno mwaka twana kanemwe.
The sound magician.
If it wasn't for Bill 7, they were going to lose the elections. Unsolicited. There was no journalist who forced him to make that statement. He made it on his own. We were saying as a nation, many people in the country were saying Bill 7 is about the 2026 elections. People were denying that. Even himself was denying that. But now he's saying it unsolicited. So if Bill 7 is about him winning the elections, if without Bill 7 he was going to lose the elections, what has he done?
Yes.
What have they done to make them win with Bill 7? And indeed, if he's not lying,
hakainde ichilema nkalapo na chifundo pa mutima kwate omutima owa muntu leko munobe ayatushe yala kwana 9 months ichitumbi chakwa Edgar Lungu chichiri ku fridge ichi chimono okukaka echitumbi watwala echitumbi kya munobe ku prison for 9 months wakwata omutima wa shani nangu kukosa omutima te ifyo. Release that body so that Edgar's family can bury their loved one. Be a human being. Your actions are human. Edgar is not buried today because of you wanting his body. That's all.
What do you want it for?
Why do you want Edgar's body that much for 9?
Wonderful day as we begin today's program. My technician back in Lusaka, I'm having echo. Just ensure that we eliminate that echo. 3rd May 2026, and we are hosting Dr. Fred Membe and Dolly Kabanda in this team that they formed under the pact. So for the team in Lusaka, quickly check my echo before I invite my guests.
9 months, almost 9 months now. Your friend can't be buried because you are saying, no, I have to have the body. I have to bury Edgar's body the way I want. Chitumbi chobe. Do you want to eat that body? Is it your body? Is Edgar your relative? Is he your friend? Let him be buried.
My team tells me the output audio is okay. So the feedback could be within my system. I'll trust my team. We are hosting Dr. Fred Membe, Socialist Party president. He was a presidential candidate in 2021 and is participating in this election under a pact. Recently, he made news as a pact the team has been assembling of various leaders, including Bob Schinga, renowned parliamentarian and, thought leader in our country, and others. And last week, they had the ceremony where they welcomed international financial expert and new entrant to our party politics, Dolika Banda, and the two were introduced as president and running mate under the pact as we go to elections. There are various issues that we are going to discuss. I want them to explain to us the pact. Then we'll be discussing the cancellation of the rights conference. The largest human rights conference was cancelled at the last minute by the Zambian government. We'll also be discussing the ECL issue. We'll be discussing also whether Zambia is capable of holding credible, free and fair elections. Let me just bring the team that I'm hosting today. Let me start with Dr. Fred Membe. Wakalambamo Abombeni, and you are looking good in that royal regalia. Many people will not understand how you are royalty. Maybe we can start with that, Mr. President.
Ngoropo mkwae mfumu amumwika mukulu bampyani kipali bumwika mukulu mu 2018 December mwika mukulu ena lumechiti mukulu obufumu bwa mulubemba bufuma pabana kashibanga babiri primary chanda mukulu na mukuka mfumu imfumu ishipitira side ya ukasama from mpepo nkole mfumu mwamba kuyashinda parubemba mukulu bafuma muli chanda mukulu ishipitira side ya kuchinsari chikwanda nkula kuyashinda parubemba pali buchimu bafuma muli mukuka mfumu bamayi bali kwete ndume yabo mwika mukulu lipole neune ababembero bafumine kukola. The first place epo bachitesetru ni pamwika kunkulungwe n'olulamba lwa Chambeshi. Before tabalabuka Chambeshi na Kalungu kuya palibali lero bali pamwika. Pamwika pafuma bachiti mukulu abane. N'oyu wine tutila kanabesa ali chiti mukulu Kapolio wafumine kwa kunkulungwe kwa mwika. Ele bafumine kwa mwika ukuya Kachambeshi babuka Kalungu kuya palibali lero bashire po mwika mukulu kusunga ekifulo kya mwika lero lesunga ekifulo kya kwa kiti mukulu omwipwa wandi nine wine mukifyalirwa abakiti mukulu bali bakayanta sosalamanga tu bakalamba bandi bafyala banandi ntile imfumu chonse mulubemba bana bandi bepwa bandi bafyala banandi obeshikulu. The only one I would call my father passed away kumpanda bamakasa. Bamakasa balipolero na bena bakalamba bandi. Ndi mfumu na fuma kubufumu twabe babufumbwa mu Lubemba tafikira hapa.
Wonderful. Thank you for the explanation, Mr. President. Mr. President, let's start with welcoming you. You and Ms. Dolika Banda. Explain the pact and the process that has brought you together.
Let me start with the pact. The pact is not, the People's Pact is not a creation of the Socialist Party. There was a group that has been working for almost 2 years on trying to bring the opposition together and have a unified leadership. Unified leadership to get into the elections and also unified leadership to lead the country thereafter in a government of national unity. These are citizens who are not in politics. They are not in politics. Some of them are lawyers, men, clergy, some of them are traditional leaders. These are ones who they have spent almost every politician of substance one knows. At the end of the day, they brought us together, and I was chosen by the group they brought together to be the presidential candidate. I can say it's not a project of the Socialist Party, it's a project of these people. Even us right now, we don't control, as politicians, we don't control the People's Party 100%. Maybe our control is 30 to 40%. We don't make all the decisions. And we like it that way. Power must be shared, responsibility must be shared with others. Those who are not ready to be led by others should not attempt to lead others. We are being led by others. We are leading together with others. And these are not people seeking positions, seeking anything other than the best for their people. And that's the way it should be. Ba politician ni tentungulu shisheka muno Zambia. Kwali banentungulu shinashimbi. We have the traditional leadership of Mwinemushi, Nemfumushesu, Nabena Nintungulushi. We have the religious leaders. They are also authentic lead people. We have the business leadership. We have the trade union. We have the intellectuals who give us ideas, who shape the public discourse. They are leaders, including people dealing with the media like yourself. You are also leaders of our people. And if this country is to be governed properly, governed well, and make progress, all these leaders must come together and participate on an equal basis and in a manner that respects each group of leadership. So the People's Pact is not an SP project. We never initiated it and we are not running it. Yes, the Socialist Party has been chosen as a special purpose vehicle for the elections because the People's Pact, although it's registered under the Companies Act, as a company limited by guarantee, it cannot participate in the elections, it cannot field people. So the fielding of candidates was agreed to be on the Socialist Party ticket. But the Socialist Party does not control who is adopted, it does not control how those parliamentary candidates are going to run. Even the manifesto of the People's Party is not the Socialist Party manifesto. All our political forces that have come in the People's Party have put aside the political manifestos, their agendas. What we are pushing is a common agenda. What we are pushing is a national agenda. What we are pushing forward, we are Tanshi, Wachalo Chonse, and guided by the common and agreed positions.
In fact, that
And that's
brings
why
me, Mr. President.
These people are coming in. It's not us who are making them leader.
Yeah, that brings me to the question. I think what brought you together is for this period, you are saying you've set out the Socialist Party agenda and you are now moving under the pact where you have a manifesto and a new code. And this I think is what people couldn't tell the difference, that the Socialist Party is now working under a pact. And for now, I don't know whether it's setting aside the Socialist Party agenda, but you are now pursuing a common agenda which has made you agree with all. I think this is what will even will be a question to Dolly Kabanda, how she found the pact attractive to join.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel, and viewers. To be back on the program in a new platform, I should say. I think I should emphasize what President Fred Member has said. The agenda we have is now under the People's Pact to deliver what I think have been our values all along. It seems as though when we talk about these things, the fact Dr. Membe has put aside, to use your words, Emmanuel, the SP agenda does not mean that it is a completely new agenda. The attraction of the pact and what attracted me to the pact does not change from the story I've been telling all along from August of last year when I announced my intention to participate in politics. That story is about three things. And these three are still encapsulated within the pact. It is about governance, it is about leadership, it is about management. Leadership that cares for the people, so a people-led pact, is no different than what the Socialist Party has been saying all along, is no different than what I have been saying all along. We have come together, and as Dr. Membe has said, it is a combination of three established parties, but there are also four individuals in this grouping. Why? Because we are aligned in our dream, our vision for what should be, could be, and will be under this leadership. So it is a leadership that is aligned in vision for the big dreams, bold dreams, upending what is pertaining in this country at the moment. A country that is not serving its people. You have heard me say we want to build a leadership that makes sure that Zambia is working for Zambians and everybody else. So that leader component. Management is about discipline. It's about fiscal. It's about fiduciary responsibility to our people. In government, you're merely custodians of the wealth of this country for the people of this country. It is integrity. It is accountability. It is ethics. And all of those values have not changed in my discussions from the very beginning and even now in my discussions with the pact. The third one on this. It is about how we run this country. We cannot continue to do the same thing that we have been doing decade after decade, administration after administration, and expect that this country is going to change. We shouldn't kid ourselves. This country is not easy for the ordinary Zambian. And so, alignment, my attraction to this pact, particularly after my life with the State Council, John Sangwa, and the Movement for National Renewal, when that could not get a party license to participate in the elections in 2026, I had only two options. The one option was to say, MNR is not registered, we were not likely to get registered, therefore, let me bow out of this race and continue with my life as it was before. Or the other option was, I already had a vision, I had a mission, I had a desire to give back to this country. And I then said to myself, bowing out is not an option. Bowing out is not an option. Therefore, what can I look at that can work together? And as Dr. Membe has said, it wasn't me approaching him or him approaching me. It was advisors above the People's Party, the People's Pact, who approached and said, are you prepared to work with the People's Pact? And for the sake of the country, for the sake of making a difference, for the sake of the people, and for my own sake as an individual, as a proud Zambian, I chose to join this pact. It's made up of different people, but our minds are aligned.
It is very clear. You don't need an invitation to deal with national issues. National issues call us every day. And I'm glad that you found a suitable vehicle to pursue those values that our country needs to achieve. Honorable Fred Bembe.
Tepambale tubeta mulie sambeni mwise mulie tepambale.
Ninchito.
Struggle.
Indeed, the Rights Conference, one of the largest conference on human rights and digital rights, was abruptly cancelled by the Zambian government. The technical staff had already arrived in the country, and this conference was going to attract over 2,000. It's a summit, the 2026 summit, and like I stated, it's the world's largest conference on human rights. And Zambian government unilaterally decided to cancel such a big event that is, Zambia is just a small part in this big conference. Of course, Zambia has been cited as a country that has violated human rights, that has begun to violate especially human rights in light of the digital era. Maybe they were not aware that this conference would cite Zambia as one of the biggest offenders in the world when it comes to, rights, human rights, and also rights on the digital rights. What is your making of this cancellation for the conference that should have started Monday and Tuesday and was going to attract over 2,000 supporters?
We have not heard the reasons for the cancellation from the authorities, from the government of the Republic of Zambia, why it has cancelled. They have not explained it to us. So we can only assume, we can only speculate from conduct, from what has happened in this country. Why would they renege on a commitment over a conference of human rights? Our simple and only explanation is that they are comfortable on the issues to be discussed. They are uncomfortable with the agenda that the Human Rights Conference was going to tackle. They are falling short of the expectations of what is expected of a country, from a country that is hosting such a conference or a summit. And indeed, look at the practices over the last 5 years. They have enacted laws that help them to violate human rights. They have trampled on every freedom one can think of. Look at the conduct of the Zambian government today when it comes to the issue of freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of the media, freedom of association. For almost close to 5 years now, since they have been in government, the Socialist Party has never been permitted to hold a rally or any meaningful meeting, or even small meetings of our party structures. We applied 34 times for a rally. We got 0. In 5 years, or close to 5 years, it will seem the only time we'll be allowed to hold a rally will be during the campaign period. We also don't even know what will be their conduct during this campaign period. If they will allow us to peacefully hold our rallies without the police or their cadres disturbing us, we are not sure. And nobody is guaranteed that. Look at the freedom of speech, the freedom of expression. They enacted the cyber laws that they were opposed to when they were in opposition, on the basis of them violating human rights. Today, they have those laws which violate human rights, which they themselves said they were violating human rights.
when the PF government wanted to introduce some of them. Look at the freedom of association. What is happening to all forms of association, including political.
Indeed.
It's not easy to go to the Register of Societies and register a political party or some association that deals with politics.
Indeed, Mr. President. It is a matter of serious worry. Another matter I'd like to bring to your attention, and either of you can answer, is the electoral landscape and how it is changing dramatically. And there are doubts whether Zambia will have and will host credible, democratic, free and fair elections. Parliament is sitting currently. There are 74 bills that Parliament has to process before it is dissolved by 15th May. And in this Parliament, there's another fundamental thing that has occurred where members of Parliament have crossed floors. They've decided to defect either as independents or as PF members, and they've joined the UPND. And that matter has not been attended to. I can give an example. Wacha MP Sydney Mushanga publicly declared that he was joining the UPND and was received. Kanchibia MP Sande Chanda did the same. Kantanshi, Member of Parliament Anton Mumba, also was just over the weekend joining the UPND. Chama South MP Davison Mungandu, Chasefu Independent MP Mishek Nyambose, Mafinga MP Robert Chavinga, Moses Moyo, the second deputy speaker, also joined the UPND. And then there is no question, despite what the law says, what the constitution says, and what precedents the courts have created, these men have remained in Parliament. And then there are 74 bills before Parliament to process before May 15th. What do you take of this, Honorable Fred Membe?
The UPND has no respect for law. The law is that which favors them. The law is that which they want. If it was members of the UPND moving to join opposition political parties, you see them being dismissed from Parliament. Even if there are no by-elections, the time for by-elections passed, they will still be removed. And probably even risk losing their benefits, some of their benefits. But because you are joining the UPND, it doesn't matter. And it's not only when it comes to Parliament where the law is disrespected, is disregarded, is set aside by the UPND. Even when it comes to criminal offenses, other criminal offenses, including corruption, if you are on their side, you get away. Only prosecuted if you are on the other side. Or if you are with them and you are not in good terms with Mr. Ichilema, then things change. That's why you are finding today opposition members who have got issues with the law, they are running to join the UPND so that they escape prosecution, they escape being accountable. That's what is happening. If you check all these people moving to the UPND, the great majority of them, I'm not saying all, but the majority of them have issues with the law. And a country cannot be governed like this. We have before that if this country is not good for all of us to live, for all of us to live, it will not be a good place for any of us. There has to be equality before the law. That's what the rule of law means, equality before the law. It's a very important principle of the rule. When that is taken away, there's no rule of law. It means that those who administer the criminal system abuse it. They simply abuse the criminal justice system by
persecuting their opponents and protecting their friends or allies.
Let me
This
come to
has created.
Let me come to. Yeah, sorry, Mr. President. Let me come to Ms. Dolika Banda. In your opening remarks, you made a fundamental issue that something that brought you together is the issue of national unity and national programs. Just amplify those thoughts, because I think you are keen to participate in the electoral process and in the governance of our country. And your persuasion to these values is what keeps on you. It doesn't matter what vehicle. Just speak to these values that you think need to be achieved for our country.
Thanks, Manuel. And I want to, again, just piggyback on Dr. Membe has said, as regards the selective application, the selfish crafting and implementation of the rule of law. Zambians feel, as we go into this election, at the end of the day, we as a people, we as citizens deserve the leadership that we put in place. And so the violations that we see for a country that has demonstrated democracy over 7 different administrations, we need to ask ourselves, no matter who crosses over, are we following individuals or are we following principle? Are we following somebody else's position and name and style? Or are we following our dreams, not for our children, but for our children? 3 generations down. What country are we trying to build? It doesn't matter what incentive you are given. Ask yourself, is it going to change? Olonilandire CDF lero, olonilandire mili meal, olonilandire cooking oil, olonipasse ma t-shirt, olonipasse tusapa ma sneakers yaya, olonipasse magogo. After the election, a month after the election, mu September, tikuya mu October after the election, nikalandire ma inputs yoyamba budget ya ulimi mwatunenera kwazo. Niyo anataka nipase budget ya ulimi. Mwekangiwa kutilipira. Mwetola milisi zanga, mwekangiwa kutilipira. Tiambe soti ulimi mu Oktoba, fetereza yechepa. Urea D yechepa. Mwambo chaira bantu no senga, losing your dignity, hard-working people forced kusenga, kuti muyambe soti ulimi. So, pakuyovota na papata, please, tikoganiza. Osati kuti atipasa chinji lero, atipasa vitenje na voted. Ngati mufuna tolani vitenje. But polo wa ballot box ira. Ni weweka wa mtunga mozi. Olo alume wako, olo kalongosi wako, olo vana wako. Weni nalini kuziwa kuti wavotera uyo olo wavotera ula. But tika vote na sense na papata. So tikauke la siku pa 13th. Tikauke 13th August tikarute kuyovota. Povota tikaganiza niyo anokamba sense apa pabantu bonse aba tapaka nase wa opposition tapaka nawo wali monomba nawo wana mphamvu tiliye mphamvu sewo bena mphamvu. So I want to ask and beg our Zambian people, let us change the way we vote. Let us not vote for personalities. Let us not vote for style. Let us not vote for pockets of money. Let us vote for vision, bold vision. Let us vote for people who have not been tainted in the past, people who can give us a new way of trying things. I wanted to say that we fit into any of these things. That comes to the question that you have asked me, Emmanuel, about governance. Governance for me is not something that we should talk about like it's an academic conversation. Governance is about care. Governance, in my language, is about mkhalidwe. How do you live? How do you carry yourself? How do you carry your family? How do you represent your family? Ndiwe kawalala, that's not governance. In my culture, since Achewa, Nangoni, they'll always say, Osaluwa kwa ufuma. Because if you behave out there in a bad way, nobody's going to say, Dolika has behaved badly. They're going to say, Wana wa banda, watch the tet na tet. Is that the reputation we want for our country as Zambia? We are bigger than this. Governance is about what? For me, primarily, governance is about national pride. Governance is about being able to walk out on the streets, hold my head high, my shoulders high, and say, I am proudly Zambian. I don't indulge in drugs. I don't indulge in theft. I don't indulge in all these social ills that we are seeing today, young people on the streets. But what does that require? That requires accountability. That requires a leadership that says, this is our budget. These are the areas that we intend to put our budget in: education, health, agriculture, infrastructure, and be able to say to the Zambian people, we said the budget was X, we were going to spend it on Y, we have actually spent it on X minus Y, is the reason why. Be transparent with us. All the global borrowings that we have, the international debt that we have, tell us why we're carrying that burden. That is governance. If I ask, you talked about the Human Rights Conference here, what are we hiding? Governance is about being comfortable enough to not have to hide anything from the Zambian people, from the global world. Let us be open, let us be transparent, let us be fair, let us lead a country that is equitably available economically opportunity to every single Zambian that is living today and in the future. That is what it's about. We are custodians. In leadership, in government, you're custodians for the Zambian people, for every resource, mineral, agricultural, flora, fauna, waterways that belong to the Zambian. You are their custodian. You don't own these things. That is good leadership. That is leadership that is led by a governance structure.
Indeed, Ms. Dolika Banda, thank you very much for those clear thoughts on the path that our country should take. Let me throw this question to Honorable Dr. Fred Membe. Dr. Membe, the issue of the late president, you've been very passionate about it. You've urged President Hakainde Hichilema to put closure to this matter. Last week, the nation was shocked to learn that there was almost illegal retrieval of the president's body, and the following day, a post-mortem was carried out on the late president's remains without the consent of the family, his lawyers, or even their presence. This shocked the country to the core. I bring this matter up because you've been so passionate to the extent that the state harassed you and even arrested you over your remarks regarding this matter. With these developments, what are your thoughts?
Ambassador natusevana lero Zambia naisevana opo twapokera obuntungu nshanfwapo kateeko wakyalo kino president wakyalo kino ale defend organizations aboshi atinaba musonto obuloshi, and he has to defend himself. Vara was never accused of witchcraft, and he never defended himself against witchcraft charges. Vachiluva, for the 10 years he was in office, and even after, I never heard anybody accuse him of witchcraft. I never heard him defend himself against such accusations. Bamwana wasa na bena 7 years batekere tatwa umfurepo ule basonto buloshi, or where he was defending himself against some accusations of buloshi. Balopia banda 3 years batekere tapali over bachitira accused if you are buloshi. Never heard him defend himself against buloshi. Vasatana bena 3 years batekere takwali ifimali yashifya buloshi ifya bwanga. Edgar Lungu na yena nsha umfirepo ifi lelo bakateka besu. He's spending time defending himself against buloshi, against taking body parts of Edgar Lungu. Chamusebanya sana. Mumushinga mwaingira ifya buloshi. Mwatampa okulaso no buloshi. Shitakoleko mule. Mwendeta mwakabe. Wiyantanshi mumushiyo mota mwakabe. No kuikala bwino tamwaikale bwino. Mwalapu sana. Takwabo mushi, takwaba community mubasa no buloshi emubekata n'abantu. Levu tufikirepo eye. Ya kutikateka mukamba wa chalo president.
Yeah.
Alleged defend ifya buloshi.
Thank you.
Instead of explaining important things. Lelo apukirungwa, as far as I can remember, there has been nobody who has been taken to prison on nations of trying to be which president. Tapali wa folklore abakaundo otwa umfuile, bamutwala kukoti, bamwana baluba, bamwana wasa, pia banda, basata, ba Edgar Lungu, tiro baka kishia tarifu. They are in prison 2 or so. Atiwa kwete kakamiri yo, but the president. And they are convicted. And mind you are prosecuted on criminals in our courts in the name of the president. So these people are in prison in the name of Mr. Ichilema, Vale Folklore of Ichilema. We expect to tackle important
and
national issues.
It is a serious. Yeah, it is a serious matter, Mr. President. Let me bring in Mama Dolika Banda on this matter. The feelings for the widow. As a woman, I don't know, when you look at this matter and the pain that you assume she should be going through, just give us your opinion about this matter.
Mwali umfapo bahichile mabalelanda paplight ya widow, paplight ya bana, paplight ya lupolo kwa Edgar Lungu. Mwali umfapo balelanda ifyo?
No.
I've never heard him address the plight of the widow, the plight of Edgar's children, the plight of Edgar's family. What he talks about is his own plight, his own interest. His own interest is to bury Edgar, officiate at the burial of Edgar. It's about himself. It's not about Edgar and his family. And also, even just a little bit of respect for the dead, ambassador. Mwana chitumbi, icha muntu shiri bululu menu shiri mwatampo kula chile Paula. Mwasenda muna fimo. Azadi ya the Attorney General, wasenda muna fimo. Only the instructions, only the authority, and the cooperation of the government. We say so because the High Commissioner to South Africa was there, or some High Commission staff were there. Zambian officials, government officials were there for the post-mortem. The only people who are not there is Edgar's family. Mwasinde chitwene mutampo. And then amali ashya buloshi aima mule ilishanya. Mwikala patalala mwina patalalika. Nga wabushe enkondo. Kulwa. Widow feels, what Edgar's children feel, what Edgar's relatives feel. It's not an issue. What type of a society is this? What type of Christians are we? What type of society do we want? A society without compassion. A society without care. A society based on greed, vanity, completely lacking humility. And you want to develop, and you want to kwikala mumutende ichivote muchalo, and you want participation of others. Is this love for other people? Can Mr. Hichilema claim to love Zambians today if he cannot show to those who are mourning? He cannot even show compassion kuchitumbi.
Ms. Dori Kabanda, as a woman, I don't know what your comments are about this matter.
I don't think it's a matter of being a woman. I think it's just a matter of principle. I think this subject matter has been debated ad nauseum. And I have three things to say. Number one, it is not a subject matter should be dominating our conversations today, when what we should be focused upon is the development of this country, is building a country that serves the Zambian people in terms of the issues of, we cascade it into cost of living, but it is really the issues of how do we build this country using the wealth that it has in a country that serves every single Zambian as best as possible. We are addressing from real issues because this has become the issue at a time when we should be thinking about what are we going to do about uplifting 70% of our population, that's approximately 14 million people who are living under 40 kwacha per day. So this issue has taken a space in our conversation that it should not take. Had it been resolved amicably between the two parties, we would all be focusing on the real issues that matter. That's the first point I want to make. The other 2 points I want to make. Number one, so that first point is about why are we all engaged in this conversation? Let the two people sort it out, get it done and dusted, and let us focus on what we need to get done in this country. Number two, it has had a devastating impact on us culturally. I'm speaking personally as a woman, you said, but I think as a Zambian, this is contra natura. This goes against everything that we know traditionally. Muntu amwalira, muikenire, mule, mzimi, kale pansi. That our country spiritually is not at peace. That's me speaking from my personal perspective traditionally. Secondly, this has had a terrible impact on brand Zambia, our country, the country that people all over the world once respected, once considered a beacon, not only for substance Africa, not only for the southern region, but for the whole concept of democracy, humanity, humanism, whatever you called it, embracing everybody all over. This destroyed our reputation. To be sitting in London, in Johannesburg, here in Zambia, BBC News, talking about Zambia, the country that has failed to bury, for that matter, but particularly a former head of state, is shameful. Chumvesha Nansoni. Chumvesha Nansoni.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes, both sides.
Honorable Dr. Fred Membe.
We cannot avoid.
Yeah, thank you, Dolika. Yeah, thank you. Honorable Dr. Fred Membe, I think the state of the country seems to have been summarized properly by Ambassador Gonzalez's speech at his farewell party. What are your thoughts about that speech?
First, maybe before I touch that, we are a laughing stock, the whole world. The whole continent is laughing at us. We are being mocked wherever we go in the region. First, there was the issue of a chameleon being used to bewitch the president. That was ridiculous or ludicrous. And the people are in prison for bewitching the president or trying to bewitch the president. We thought it would end there. Today, the president is defending himself against witchcraft, ubuloshi, ubwanga. Tatuishi bofibase kuli Edgar. But we are being laughed at, the whole world. Yet we have such big problems that the country is facing. The great majority of our people, more than 70% of our people, are wallowing in extreme poverty. If yakulya fire eshupa, utulota tulemoneka, umulandu wama problems. The great majority of our civil servants and other workers are in a debt trap. Payday chiriro. Those are with small businesses. The businesses are closing or they are troubled. The economy is in shambles. Instead of focusing on these issues that really affect the living conditions of our people, the happiness of our people, what is taking away their humanity, their dignity? We are discussing Uwanga day in, day out. You look at the social media, that's what is going on. Nobody is talking about the 82.6% poverty that is in Muchinga. Nobody is talking about the 78.6% poverty that is in Western Province. Nobody is talking about the 78% poverty in the Northern Province. Is mentioning about the 77.3% poverty in Wapula. Nobody is talking about the 76.4% poverty in Eastern Province. The problems that our country faces are huge. Today, we are 22 million. In 12 to 15 years, the population of this country will double. Will be more than 44 million Zambians in 12 to 15 years, given the population growth rate of 3.5 average and 4% in urban areas. If we are failing to feed 22 million, how are we going to feed 44 million in 12 to 15 years? What schemes do we have in agriculture? How are we going to make agriculture productive where 80% of our people are deployed, direct or indirectly, but producing only 3.5% of our GDP. How are we going to create jobs for these young people who are leaving school, leaving college, leaving university to find no job with them? How are we going to wipe out tears from the mothers, from the fathers, who every day are struggling to feed their children and their grandchildren because the parents are not working? They have finished school, they start producing children who are living with the parents. So the parents are looking after their own children and their children's children, sleeping in a small room. We don't have a housing scheme. We can't accommodate 22 million people. We don't have housing for 22 million people. We don't have water supply for 22 million people. We don't have proper sanitation for 22 million people. What programs are we discussing to deal with these problems in 12 to 15 years? The president is spending time pabwanga, pabulosh. Why? Can't we feel sorry? Can't we be compassionate for the populations that are living in extreme poverty? People are taking their lives, they are committing suicide because they just can't cope. Amano apela. We should be going to church on Sunday to pray for more wisdom. Because God has given us everything that we need to live well in this country. Everything that we need He has given. What we are lacking is the brains to utilize He has given us, even to discover some of the things He has put here. But day in,
in fact, Mr. President, that looks like a summary of Ambassador Gonzalez's speech, where he stated, first he has exposed the corruption under this government. He has talked about the billions of dollars that is given, not as loans, but as grants, especially to our health sector in the last 20 years, in billions of dollars. But he concludes that Zambia doesn't need money. What it needs is leaders who govern for the people with integrity. It needs the political will to put Zambia first. He clearly identified that the current leadership has not put Zambia first. And Zambia's problem is not the billions that Americans are pumping in, because it will be stolen. He's talking about leadership. What do you say to that? And both of you, I think, can answer that fundamental question.
The ambassador, it's embarrassing to be told by an American ambassador that we should take care of our own people. We should be responsible for the destiny of our own country. We have 1.2 million Zambians today living with HIV. And we put them under the care of foreigners, Americans and others, to take care of 1.2 million of our fellow citizens. If the Americans pull the plug, if the other donors pull the plug, the lives of the 1.2 Zambians are threatened. And this is what Ambassador Gonzalez is telling us. Take care of your own people. How do you place the well-being of your people in the hands of other people, foreigners? And you call yourselves leaders. What are you leading? Who are you leading? Who are you taking care of? We are being told, use your resources properly. Use even what we have given you properly. Okay, you can steal what is yours, but don't steal what we have given you. You annoy us. That's what we are being told. Again, twaseva na Zambia twaseva na. natusevana ichilipo tekufunyapo vya kainde na UPND ichilefu ikakuchinje mitekere. Why? Let's pay a lot of attention to the selection of leaders. Let's not make a mistake we made in 2021. Some of us pointed it out. We warned you Zambians that Itapali if you are fix you. We were seeing a fair opposition political party. Even today, the political parties, opposition leaders, who are not different from Akainde. If we tell you these people are not opposition leaders to lead this country, again, you same people, you say our fellow opposition leaders. But we have a duty to tell our people the truth. Kumie soko na fuma pakusale pianike mfumu a lot of attention. We don't just pick any Jim and Jake. Tusale mpanda kuti pababe kwa 20 ara qualify yokupiana tusalapo fyeunga umo tusalapo mpanda iya kwatisha mano iya temwesha abantu iya ishiba abantu iya ishibe cyaro ingasunga abantu ne cyaro etupianika pavufumu iyo tupianika pali bumunemushi ndo tuliole pange cyongo sana oleshitira abantu kibuku sana iyo mune pianika pavufumu mukalano kibuku kirabushiku takwabo okubosha kumyeso tatushita obutungulushi tatushiti obutungulushi tatushiti ekyalo poseni kwa mano. If we don't pay attention to leadership, takuleko tuleya. Like in the past, future will depend on the type of leadership we construct. For the decisions we make on the 13th of August over leadership will determine where this country will be. And don't be shocked if after August you still face the same problems. Don't say we didn't tell you, we are telling you today. You know these people are crooks. You still think they can become better if you put them up to English. We warned you, Kaunda warned you, you didn't listen.
Indeed. Ms. Dolika Banda, when you listen to the speech of the ambassador, and he singled out the issue after cataloging the issues of corruption, the issues of misrule and misgovernance, he narrowed it down to the issue of integrity and leadership. He says, well, the problem here is not the resources, it's a leadership issue. What are your reflections over that?
I was in that room or in that gathering when Ambassador Gonzalez was speaking. I had two emotions, anger and shame. Anger and shame. I was ashamed that anyone, but particularly a foreign diplomat, could stand and speak about my country in a way that was telling us, ndimwe visiru, ndimwe vizende, mwalipsauka. Balesa bali mpela fye think ifile kwaika mchalo chenu. And you are at the bottom of the heap in your own country. I'm being very blunt, very aggressive. Basically, what that was saying, we are fools. That fortune favors fools. We have a fortune upon which we sit. In our own country, we are the poorest people. We are at the bottom of the heap. That was the shame that I felt. The anger I felt was that I could not refute Ambassador Gonzalez's words because they are true. We can criticize him, and I have already had people tell me he had no right to speak like that. He's a diplomat, he was undiplomatic. But let's strip away excuses. Abena Zambia. We must strip away the excuses we make for our mediocrity. Let us take responsibility for why we are where we are as a country. It is about us. We have accepted, we have allowed ourselves to be in a position where on our own rich soil, somebody can come and tell us what is wrong with this country. And the response, largely the unstated response we got, is fear. People are afraid to speak up. Even as we speak here today, people will come and say, you are so stupid because you're putting yourself in the line of danger, or you are so brave. What is happening in this country, Emmanuel, is not okay. It's not okay. My argument is we talk about leadership, we talk about asogoleri, bakateka, but as much about us as a people as it is about that one person to whom we entrust our whole wealth and well-being and say that is the leader. Leadership is in all of us. Each and every single us who accepts on a daily basis to go against the law, to go against regulation, to go against policies. Each one of us is responsible for the problems that we have today, and ultimately to vote for people that we have not organized. Let us find out where that family is coming from, how they behave, how does others behave around that person. Mukumbira at every different generation. When we go elect leaders, what anything that we do, and then we vote for those people. When you go to select a leader, nikukumbira, because you have to live with the consequences of the attitude, the behaviors, the drive, the ambition of that person for lifetime to come. It's not 5 years. Impact any leader does in years goes beyond 5 years. So, Emmanuel, for me, the listeners and the viewers on this program, leadership cannot be entrusted in one person. Leadership has got to be entrusted across a board of governance, across a structure. You cannot have one person tell us what to do as a country and everybody follows. We cannot do that. We are responsible, I'll say it again, we are responsible for the leadership that we have as citizens and voters, and we are responsible for the state of this country as voters and citizens. Don't blame one person. Blame ourselves. Let us think. Let us act. And let us use the way we have been doing.
This is collective shame. This is collective blame. The leaders that are in power are as a result of our own vote. So while we blame them, we also have to blame ourselves for the choices and decisions we make. Let me come to Dr. Fred Membe. When you look at the state of our country, it's in a pitiful state. And the people of Zambia are looking to you, the opposition. I first need to commend you, Mr. President, that you are walking the path of uniting the opposition. At least you are in a pact. You've brought people beyond the Socialist Party, including Ms. Dolika Banda. And you are trying to unite the opposition. But the efforts, our people still think they are not enough. Kindly just speak to the issue of unity in the opposition and what we should do even at this late hour. I'm saying this because the country is surprised that between 25 to 29 presidential candidates have filed There is one President Hakainde Hichilema and 28 others from the opposition. This is very worrying. But like I'm saying, we need to commend you for the efforts you've made, at least at your level. You've tried various issues and you seem to have settled with the People's Pact. But is this enough? What are you doing to your other senior colleagues in the opposition?
But before I come to the issue of unity, let me add something on Ambassador Gonzalez's statement. There's something that's grossing over, something we are trying to push aside. Gonzalez made it clear. This problem is not new. It has been a problem with successive governments. The PF government also behaved in a similar way, albeit in a slightly different way. Ambassador Foot was kicked out. But they raised the same issues. Gonzalez is saying these issues were there in previous governments. How many have gone to prison over stealing this money of American aid? PF government, from the MMD government. How many are in prison? And Gonzalez is saying we don't prosecute them, we don't, we leave them. And the same people who stole our people American money are today in the country. And they are saying they have never been prosecuted, they are innocent. If they had stolen, they would have been prosecuted. But that's what Ambassador Gonzalez is saying, we don't prosecute people. And because we don't prosecute them, they risk themselves. They give themselves a new life. And they use the non-prosecution as a cleansing process. So these problems are not new. It's not about UPND alone. The people in PF also, according to Gonzalez, did the same things. And today, some of them wanted to be presidents of this country, wanted to be vice president of this country, wanted to be ministers in the next government, wanted to be members of parliament, mayors, councillors in the next government. And we shouldn't do it. And they're not talking about it. They are focusing on UPND. And they are saying they are clean because they have not executed by anybody. And the UPND people will say the same thing this time. Yet we know why they are prosecuted. So these are issues that we shouldn't play around. Again, not to say Vanna. Coming to the issue of unity. In the Socialist Party, we are very clear that palifikile level tulipo lero, Socialist Party alone, no matter what support it gets from our people, cannot solve the problems facing our country today. We need the unity of all our people. We need the unity of all our leaders. As I said, the traditional leaders, the religious leaders, the business leaders, the trade union leaders, the intellectuals, and so on and so forth, they need to participate in a meaningful way. And the problems we have cannot be solved by one idea. We need all the ideas from the leadership of our people that I've mentioned, synthesized, without anybody claiming to have superior ideas, to have a superior vision. What we are looking for is not a single genius. We are not looking for a MacGyver. We are looking for a collective genius, not a single genius. But again, we are seeing the same mentality of 2021, of Barry will fix it. There's another person calling himself and another one calling himself this or that again. But it amounts to the same thing, a MacGyver, a fixer, a Samson. There is no collective leadership that is being talked about. The issue of unity is not just to win an election. It's to move our people from the most challenging, the most anguishing situation they face today, the situation of poverty. Poverty removes the dignity from a human being. Hunger is degrading. Ensala ilasevanya, ubupina bulasevanya. Zambia na isevana lero kubupina n'ensala. And to bring back the dignity of our people, we need to unite. And the first unit that our people are asking us for is to unite to change government, so that we have a government that is more inclusive, a government that increases the participation of our people, and the people participate through their leaders. So, us as socialists, we have never put our ideology, we have never put our party above the people. The strategic goal of the Socialist Party, the strategic objective of the Socialist Party is not the party itself. The strategic objective is to improve the living conditions of our people. That's a strategic objective. And that should not be mistaken for the party. The party is not the strategic objective, it's not the goal. It's a tool. The party is simply a tool to use to move our people to the desperate situation they are in. So yes, we have been talking to other people. This was the mandate we got from the last Congress of the party in September 2024. The Congress of the Socialist Party mandated us, ordered us to go and work with others. So we have the full mandate of the Socialist Party with the Congress resolution, and that resolution is filed with the Register of Societies. It's there. Go and work with others. Go and seek partnership with others. Go and seek cooperation with others. Go and answer with others. We have met almost every group. And in these discussions for unity, we have moved to any group with a condition. And we are telling people we are engaging you without any condition. We have engaged the various PF groups, and we have told them we are coming to you without any condition. And there's nothing that cannot be discussed in this unit. But most of them, as you can see, they are not with us. They ran away. What we are learning is they don't want the Socialist Party. They are saying, we are difficult people, we are too strict. Tabakulapo kama contract. Tabakulaiva. Chachine tabakulaiva. And we have made it very clear the first people who start with in the government, even if it's a government of national unity, will expect a very high level of fidelity from the Socialist members. Even in the government of unity, if we have meaningful participation in that government, Socialists will still, they'll be the first ones to go to prison. By December, some of our people from the Socialist Party will be in prison. And we are saying so with confidence because we know in the Socialist Party there are also rotten eggs. You give them 1,000 kwacha for party work, they'll be lucky not to, the party will be lucky to have 600 kwacha used for that activity. They will pocket the money. What more when they have control over government resources, which are bigger. So we have no doubt by December, a number of socialists will be in prison. And it can't be a corruption fight if we are targeting the UPND people, we are targeting the PF people, we are targeting those who are in MMD, but we are not dealing with the current. When we talk about the future, we mean it. The future is not a calendar. The future is built on the threshold of today, on the decisions we take today, the actions we take today. We are building the future. So there are no exemptions. We want unity, but that unity has been eluding us. And there are people who think they can win on their own. And when they talk about unity, they want others to come and support them. That's not unity. They should be very clear. They should just say, come and support us. We are not asking anyone to come and support us. We are asking people to come and join us in a partnership to lead the country. Even if you know I'm already adopted as a presidential candidate for the People's Party, we have made it very clear. It's not cast in stone. My dear sister here can testify to that. We had people who were destined to be running mates. She was told even the position of me being the candidate is still under discussion. It's not cast in stone. I was not born to be president. And we are not putting the interests of our people above or below us. We are ready to achieve a meaningful unity. But it's not just a unit about winning the elections. It's a unity to govern the country in a manner that will benefit our people. It's not about sharing positions. When you meet some of these leaders, Ambassador, it's embarrassing. The word people does not come in. The Zambian people are nowhere when the doors are closed. They don't talk about the Zambian people. Then it's about themselves. It's what is in it for me, citizen so and so, or leader so and so. It's not what is in it for the Zambian people. But even within that, we are still willing to talk to people. We are still ready to bend backwards to address what is in it for them and give it to them.
Indeed,
it's
thank
not
you very
what
much,
is in
Mr.
it
President.
No, we don't mind about things. We didn't have to discuss with my sister here about what is in it for her. Let me make it very clear. She did not come to be the running mate.
Yeah, yeah.
She did not ask to be running mate.
Those are comforting words.
I want to make it clear. She didn't come as running mate. It was given to her by the entire collective of the People's Party. She never asked to be running mate. She never asked for a position. She wanted to the party to work in any capacity. So let's not make the mistake of thinking she came to negotiate to be the running mate. No. We gave it to her as a collective. That's why you have not heard anybody get annoyed that how come it's Dorica, not me. It was a collective decision of both the promoters of this project or the trustees of this project and us, the political players. We all agreed. So, Ambassador, we'll still talk to others until the last day.
Yeah.
Even after nominations, we'll continue to look for unity. It's not a happenstance issue for us, it's a strategic issue. We are not seeking just a happenstance alliance to win an election. We are seeking a strategic alliance to change the living conditions of our people. That's the main goal. The main goal is not just the removal of Akainde. The main goal is to change the living conditions of our people. That's the strategic objective. People cannot live in this level with this level of poverty. It's degrading, it is dehumanizing. God never made us to come and suffer to this level.
Yeah. We'll be opening the phone lines just now. You've heard the clear explanation from pact leader, Dr. Fred Membe. I'm hosting Dr. Fred Membe and Dolika Banda. They are here to discuss the national issues that have beset our country and the preparations for our elections that are due. I will have the last questions, but I'll open the lines and I think we'll bring it later. The state of our country, where are we able to host credible, free and fair elections in light of the state of ECZ, in light of the new laws that have been set, in light of all these things happening around the electoral process? Is Zambia ready to have, a democratic, credible, transparent, free and fair elections? When we come back, We'll take your calls. If you have any calls for the duo, Dr. Fred Membe and Dolika Banda. And Dr. Fred Membe, I forgot to congratulate you. You just obtained a PhD, a second PhD. Congratulations once again. Dear listeners, the lines are open. We are hosting Dr. Fred Membe and Dolika Banda from the People's Pact. You are aware Dr. Fred Membe is president of the Socialist Party, but as he explained, that during this 5-year period, they've set aside the programs of the Socialist Party. They've embraced a collective program where they have come together under the People's Pact. And he has stated that although candidates will stand under the Socialist Party, it's a mere vehicle to implement the programs of the People's Pact. If you have any questions for the duo, the lines are now open. You can please call. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and give us your contribution.
Tumina kukopa beauty wa ambassador mwabombeni kabidi wa president membe mwabombeni.
Endita.
Nala kumya kuisha sheria unity wa president wa membe na baranda sana pali unity kweba unity ibepo. Ngomo bachirandira abengi abarefu wa pali unity. Barefu for example ni party president arefu areita unity bari abantu bakumjoina bamde okulampera support yote unity turefu. So unity if irefu aikwa ngeofine wa president Fred Membe ya kweba basumino kweba naine kuti natungulula na kuti natungululu unity turefu. So ba Fred Membe inena alimona kale ba Fred Membe tabakwata problem bali temwa unity kweba babombera chapa muna kunu mokubalendera chapa muna ba given nuvinda bonse bali abalendera na bena chapa mo ino nchitata mwendera na bena chapa mo chincharenga but defoninga mikoseresha ba Fred Membe pala mikeni uli mwache yenu makebizuru muwombe nangwe mwendere chapa mo imoni mwa veteran politician kama wabombera chapa mo na makebizuru bachimba kambwiri na imwe bene ba Membe na ba Dr. nani kani given nuvinda ifindi kuti fya babwino no mbanga mwa bafe bya kwebati mrefu afe ngaba mijoina imwe mu mtungurule fani stafiri bwino. So question eo ni kwete kuli ba Fred Membe ushoba Fred Membe apantu mulinga ba party president kuti mwasumina nga mwabana ngushofine mwaba mu unity ero mwasa abatiri mbi ba mitungula mwasala president umo kuti mwasumina kuba balani menti na kuti mwasemwa fe okuba fe top position ya bu president.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and give us your contribution.
Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. Sinyangwe Daniel on the line.
Sinyangwe, make your contribution.
But Dr. Membe mulishani na Dolika Banda mulishani mkwai. Mone ni mwebantu ni nkonko fe mulelanda. But tie number tumfwane because if abantu ebalandira tumuwombere kyapamo nomba as a nation. But Dr. Membe, you are a very experienced man and you are exposed. But Membe tulelo as a country, because if you are not going to work together by Membe, we will not have a Zambia. Let's put our egos and our pride aside. but let's put Zambia first. And then we all know what we need to do mwebantu. Ikateneni, tentuwombele chapa. That's what everyone will be asking you. God bless you and God bless Zambia. Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and tell us your contributions.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Mwamba. My name is Uncle Jay.
Uncle Jay, make your contribution.
Thank you. Greetings to the President and the running mate, Madam Vice President, if I may call her that. Just to start with, I think I appreciate the way President Membe has articulated issues. I think he's on point. What he's spoken to is exactly what Zambians need. But I'm a little bit uncomfortable with Madam Dorika in the way she's come out. I strongly feel that, the issue of ECL's family and body, for me, is a national issue that we should, that requires every leader to be concerned. So for her to say, we shouldn't be talking about this. This is an issue that has to be confronted. It's there, it has happened, and I expect every leader, just like the President Membe has spoken, I would have loved her to strongly condemn it. We cannot run away from, the evil that happened and say we should be discussing, national matters. That is a serious issue that every well-meaning Zambian should be able to talk about and deal with it. I don't think I'm not happy the way she's put it, like it's not an issue that we should even be talking about. It has happened. It has never happened in our country, but it has happened. So we cannot stay away from this issue. I really expected her to strongly condemn it. I really seek a serious response from her regarding this matter. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, I think what she meant was that this matter should have been resolved. The extent to which it has reached, is shocking the entire country, but she will speak in her own words. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello.
Yes, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and give us your contributions.
Okay, I'm Kalaba. We're calling you from within Lusaka.
Mr. Kalaba, make your contributions.
I just want to talk about opposition unit. I've been following the alliances and people talking about unity for the past 2 or 3 years. But what is so disheartening is that the unity that some people are talking about, if there's no element of PF, then it's not opposition unity. We have so many great leaders in this country. We have Dr. Fred Membe there, we have Madam Dorika Banda there, and many other people who are presenting themselves to the Zambian people who have never read, this country before.
Oh, we lost him, but I think it's very clear. He says there are many people that can form unity outside the Patriotic Front. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Mkwaiwa nameless.
Mwabombeni bonse mwabombeni n'entungulu shishiri koko badorika banda na ba president ba Membe mwabombeni bonse. Eba Mwamba, I want to correct now I can't remember the name, who was condemned by Dorika.
Uncle J.
Yeah, Uncle J. Uncle J, you've just misquoted Mama Dorika Banda. What she meant exactly, kulingana fenefyo na chumba batiralando kweba iriya shi tali lelo takulifu okula landa boyo omo bachosha mukweba ti ichi chintu chimwe cha kweba ti takufiro nokula tilanda chintu chimwe cha bingiro kweba ti twalipwisha pantu chintu chimwe chikamkala sana tabachosha mukweba tabalefu okulanda kuba nkoje nyokulingana fenefyo fuire mukweba ti image masoso shatikali, but this is not the issue that we should even be talking about it. Not because she didn't want to comment. No. On that one, I really heard exactly what she said, and I did understand very well. Hello, it's a number on the Fulanda. Batata bamende n'abalango bati. Ulinga neshala ba ambassador ba America. Pronunciation liadigation advanshuka sana.
Gonzalez
Balirando emkwaye balirando kwebati mungu mfisha fyondelanda inenda kanga balelanda abantu bali batando kwebati ifile chitika muri ubuntu ngwa bwalelo ekyalo chitika na ubuntu ngwa wonso bwa kitobwa kale wonso mwadi fyambana elwa abantu oba baleyita ukwebati bale united. Nina abantu bamwe bakula tabaleposa kwa mano tabalelanda kama Zambia msi baleyilandira se abeneneka nomba 6 n'ababonje gyeshwiyo ino tunalanda okwebati tatalanende namumona iwe nimwebo muri bakulu mwali tutano muri isya tungulushi kashi kuti chawemo kwebati mwabula uli omuntu umushachi tapwe esintu isibi abalinganga bamakebizulu ebo nomba mwabika muri isintu ingana se nokutontonkanya kwaliti.
Thank you. Let me take the last caller because you know we are doing an outside broadcast and my team needs to go. So, yeah, thank you very much. Let me take the last caller. Hello, last caller. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Ambassador Mwabombeni.
Iyo tuwabomba mlishani.
No, if you know, I've been following the lovely program and my brother are doing a very good job to bring our leaders so that abantu bonse muchalo bonfuishe ine ndichiwa kutotela sana. Ba ambassador ndefo kulanda kona ba president membe na ba sister besu wa Doli Kabanda. Ndefo kuba weke shako kunuma. Muna 1991 ilio ichalo chesu chakweta mafia, economy and everything was not moving. The noble people from the different region, background, professional, came together and formed the movement for multiple democracy. I'll just get some few names from the MMD. We had the Elas Chipimo, Andrew Kashita, Edward Chamwana, Arthur Wina, Scotta Wina, Humphrey Mlemba, just to mention few. All those people, they were presidential material. But Vali Shive is very important at that particular moment in MMD. They came together for a purpose. Vali sa ikatana chapa mo kutibe Shive pontu wishe fsheka unda tufetwa ikatana pamo. Ngatwalekana kaunda tatwa mkwanishe. Echa lengele wa MMD ba wina ma election mu 1991. Nomba pali inonshita by Emmanuel. Nga watimumone material akwete wa MMD. Aba asumi no kwimina bwe MP no kusaba ma ministers. Most of them, sorry to say that, they had a lot of qualification to become presidential candidates. But while she actually pali kwa kulubula bena Zambia kulubula ubuteko na ma problems bakwete. Bonse bali chefya baya imini na muma constituencies pusana and they became ministers. Nomba pali inonshitaba mwamba. Nga matimoni abantu abayitungile kubabu president. Mushite compare na ma MP na ma ministers bakwete ba MMD. Sorry kulande efyo. Bali abantu abakali bali kweta ma qualification. Pantu bali kweta omutima wa kubombera abantu. Abantu tukwete pali inonshita. Tabakweta omutima wa kubombera abantu. E problem tukwete. Inecho ndelo mbako kuli ba membe. Bamembe is a senior most amongst those people abalefo kwimina bu president. And therefore kulanda pachishinga. Takuli political party. Eyo tukwete mu opposition. Abenda kwanisho kuina UPND veka tapali. Bamwamba natukwata 12,151 polling station. Natukwata 1,000 plus councillors. Natukwata 226 constituencies. Natukwata 113 mayor and chairperson. Tapali political party hiyo ni mu opposition ebenda kwanisha ukuvika abantu muli na lumbula. Just to have almost close to 30,000 polling agencies and polling assistants. Takuli political party ndakwanisha. Takuli political party ndakwanisha kushita feature 226 aspiring candidates. No mbecho nde ipusha fye. Echo ba ilumba fye bonse kutibakane fye kutibekane fye pamo. Bonfwano kwebati amazambia n'abalomba balanda ikale ni pamo mupange fye chintu chinga chimo ero mulubula amazambians but chile mune kwati abali bonse n'abayitumba chalenga amazambian baba very disappointed bamembe ndemilomba baali Kalaba ndemilomba ba makebi zuru tule milomba ba KBF tule milomba ba mundubile tule milomba na bambia bashala tamukwete capacity individual political party ukuwina wa UPND ikale ni pamo mulubule abe na Zambia tule milomba tulipanshi tule kunkula otherwise mukwete 14-15 days ukuti musolving ama problems otherwise ikawa feni academic. Thank you.
Mr. President, I don't know where people were. Now all my phones are lighting up. Maybe let me just take two more, then we throw to you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from, and kindly be brief.
Yeah, this is Precious Sinangia from Livingston.
Precious, make your contributions quickly.
Yes, I just want to ask the president, Fred Membe, the way that he said, they are very much wise words, but I'm not just happy with his running mate, Dorika, where she was saying that they should not be talking about the issue of ECL. You know, ECL, even when he was still alive, he used to call upon all opposition leaders to be united and fight this battle together. And I was expecting Fred Membe is a very much concerned person, even in this issue of Balongo. So I was expecting them, all of them, to follow the words that Balongo told them. Because I remember Balongo, when he was still alive, they used to be in meetings and they agreed on one thing. They said this battle they are fighting one battle and they only have one enemy. And that enemy, it is UPND who is making our life miserable. So I was expecting all of them to be united and support one person. And for them, they've been contesting for so many years, but they failed to do what to succeed. So even now, they cannot say that they win the people of Zambia. No. What I was expecting them, all of them, to be united and support one person, to choose one person who they can support.
Thank you, Precious. Thank you very much. Mama Dolika will answer the question, and the issue of unity keeps on coming up. There are so many causes, but unfortunately, I have to be people. Maybe we'll allow Dr. Membe and Dolika to leave. They'll answer the questions. Maybe then I can open your questions later because there are so many causes. But this is our last caller for now. Caller, please tell us your name and make your contributions.
Good evening, Ambassador. Good evening, Membe and the rest of the people.
Yes.
I think I'm just commenting. It's not even a question, but commenting, just like the previous callers have mentioned, their plea is genuine. Their plea is genuine. As the people of the country, you know, Membe, just like what my brother said, that you are one of the most senior personnel there, candidate. You know what is going on. For you just to speak and cry that let the Lungu be buried. You were incarcerated, you are arrested. You are now, anytime soon, you'll be appearing in court over those remarks. Now, imagine you give this person chance another 5 years. Trust me, people will die. And we have people who have been persecuted not because they did any wrong, just because they stood for the country. They are now appearing before the courts. So my call is, may you please bury your pride. You know what all these political parties, all these political parties, what they can offer by the end of the day. I know sometimes people can size themselves that I'm more powerful than the other, but look, the most powerful people, opposition, is the people of the country. So may you please unite for the betterment of this country. How we are going to choose, how we are going to divide, how we are going to give yourselves a position, it's up to you. But for now, let's kill this Goliath. It's an evil for that matter. Let's come together and defeat this government. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll throw the question back to Honorable Fred Membe. Most of the questions relate to unity of the opposition, and people really want all the factors and all the senior leaders in the opposition to unite under some form of banner, a matter and where you have been to. And for Honorable Dolly Kabanda, your remarks about the funeral, I think could have been misunderstood, but to give you the opportunity to clarify. And to our dear callers, thank you very much. There are so many of you, and all the phones have lit up, but unfortunately we have to go. Let's give Honorable Dr. Fred Membe, let's start with you.
Let me start with the misunderstanding over what my sister Dorica said here about this year's funeral. I think she has been grossly misunderstood. At no time did this issue should not be discussed. What she said is this issue, the discussion should have died a long time ago, because this is a known issue. A known issue in the sense that it's a clear issue that doesn't need to, it didn't need to take the route it has taken. It didn't need to take the time it has taken. On Tuesday, it will be 11 months since my brother Edgar left us. 11 months in the fridge, save for the 5 hours they took him to cut him into pieces. This issue, I agree with Vadorika, it should have died a long time. We would now be looking at the preparations for the memorial, not preparations for the burial. What are we going to do on the 5th of June? When we're supposed to have a memorial? That's what Dorica was saying. So please, she did not say we should not discuss this issue. And I can confidently say so because this is an issue we discussed internally with her. So I know her position on this, take it from me. Coming to the issue of unity, which almost every caller has touched. For us in the Socialist Party, this is not a Fred Membe issue to decide. It was decided for me by Congress. I don't have an option as president of the Socialist Party but to pursue the unit. It's a directive of Congress. Congress told us to pursue unity with others. And this was in September 2024. It's not an issue of yesterday, no. The second Congress of the Socialist Party in September 2024 directed us to pursue unity. And that directive, as I said, is filed with the Registrar of Societies. And if you go and check on that resolution, it does not say you Socialist Party president, go and have unity where you will be president. It doesn't say so. We are not pursuing a hegemonistic issue. We are not told to go and lead whatever alliances we get into. We don't have that directive. We were told to go and work with others. Working with others, it means you work with them on equal terms. You can't go and pursue unity when you are superior to others. When you feel you are superior to others, you are going to recruit them to support you. We were not asked by Congress to go and look for people to support SP, to go and look for other political parties to support SP's presidential candidate. No. The resolution is very clear, is to seek alliances with others. And we made it also very clear to our members, and we still remind them to this very day, that alliances mean that we can be led by others. And also it will mean that the program has to be aside for the period of the alliance and pursue a national agenda. And that's what we are doing. And our members are ready for that because it's their decision. When they directed us to go and pursue alliances, they did not tell us go and lead others. So we are ready to be led by others. And the issue of unity, we have pursued it in a very serious way. From October 2024, we have been pursuing unity. Pursued with unity with the PF and Tonse as it was at that time. You can talk to Given Vinda, you can talk to Nakachinda, you can talk to Bankanduluo. We have held meetings way into 02 a.m. At no time did we want to impose ourselves as leaders. If anything, in all these meetings, we have made concessions that they have not reciprocated. We have made concessions to our partners without them reciprocating. And if anything, our friends in the PF are very guilty of that. I'm not accusing them, but I'm just stating facts so that people know. We are not the type of leaders who parade themselves. Whoever we meet is a picture, social media, is a clip put in the social media. No. I personally have gone to PF leaders' homes and other leaders. I've gone to their homes. I can out to Mr. Given Ruvinda's home up to about midnight, 2 a.m. with Dr. Musumari, pursuing him for days. We couldn't get hold of who went. And we told him, I was with Dr. Musumari, we told him we come with no conditions. And everything that we have done can be undone. He's there, Mr. Given Ruvinda, to speak for himself. We have spent endless hours with Dr. Chitauchirufya. And also, even him, we told him we come with no conditions. I've spent time with Mr. Honorable Miles Sampa. Again, same approach, you can ask them. As we don't lie. And no pictures. You have not seen any pictures. But it's long, long hours. We have met with Dr. Chishimba Kambwiri. Again, no conditions. There are other initiatives by other people. There's an initiative that is still ongoing by Bacharakateka. We have met there with other leaders of Makebi, KBF. I've been to KBF's home. We have spent long hours in our KBF at his home. I followed. Again, no conditions. And no restriction on anything. We didn't go there and say this is not negotiable. No. So the issue of humility, of humbling ourselves, is not there. It concerns us. The people you are talking about, we have been there. Vakasonde Mwenda, I've been in touch with them. There are very few we are in touch with. Ask them if we have put any conditions to them. We have not gone to ask for support from them. We have gone to ask for a working relationship, an alliance. Ask them why it's not there. It's not there because of the Socialist Party, no. And right now, I'm not only representing the Socialist Party, I'm also representing the People's Pact. Trust Pact, promoters of the People's Pact are also still working to this very day, still working, seeking unity with others. Again, they are not approaching people with conditions. As far as I know, I don't sit in their meetings.
Yeah, I think we
There's
can move
no
to
issue of us going there with the pomposity, with the arrogance of being this and that. You have not seen pictures flying around like others do. No, we don't do it for publicity. It's not posturing. We don't posture. This is too important an issue to posture around, to be seen that you are seeking unity when you are not even seeking it. So there is unity in the opposition, not because it's us, no, who have refused this and that. Ask any of these people if there's any condition or any request we have objected to. Some of them have even asked us to put up a written proposal. We have put those proposals and we have remained confidential about it. We criticized them. They have never come to us. So we have done the best that we can. We are not seeking to support anybody. If you want us just to say, go and support that one, then direct us. But if that's the case, then we have to have an extraordinary Congress because we don't have that mandate just to support anybody. What we have is an alliance working with others, sitting down, agreeing even how the government will function after that. You win the elections. Yeah. What is in it for the Zambia? It's not about just the leaders sharing positions. No, we are not interested in that. Our principal interest, our strategic objective is what the Zambian people get out of dispensation. It's not us getting positions. I've been involved in the political life of this country, of this region, since 1978. There was a caller who was talking about the MMD. For you, maybe you might have heard what happened at the MMD Garden Conference and thereafter. I was there. I was one of the participants. I'm one of the people who registered the MMD as a political party in December 1990. My name is there. I was a participant. Even at the first convention of the, I was there. The unit that you are talking about, it didn't come by itself. We forged it. We worked for it. I had to convince one of my best friends, he's late now, to step down as vice presidential candidate and levy. He objected. He says, I'm not stopping. I'm not backing down, but you go and support Levy if that's your choice. I asked him, are you going to take it again? He said, no. We worked the whole day to try and undo what we did. And Levy won marginally. After Levy won, I took that friend of mine who stood against Levy together with another person who is also late, who stood against Levy. I took them to Ndola, to Levy's house. We got there on a Friday to unite them. I did that. And I can mention, this was Christian Tembo and Bodwin Nkumbula. I took them to us. Maureen was there. So this is for us. We didn't join the politics of this country to become presidents or to become ministers. Would have been ministers, would have been this and that a long time ago. And it's not only this country in which we participated. We participated in the liberations of other countries as well, where we don't live. And we have gotten nothing other than the good relationship we hold with the people of those countries. So it's not about positions. Even in now, all those, if you want, to meeting of all these people you're mentioning, call a meeting for unity. We will come and you hear it. You hear what our position is. You hear who wants unity and who doesn't want unity. Take the initiative. Call us. Call all those people you're mentioning who you want to unite. Call us to a meeting at your house. Wherever you may be, we'll come. At least for us, we'll come.
Indeed, Mr.
I don't
President,
know others, but we'll come.
That's clear commitment. That's very, very clear. Yeah, very, very clear commitment to opposition unity. And I'm glad that you have pursued these matters without even cameras in many cases. I think you've put your thoughts very clear. Let me hand over the microphone to Honorable Dolika Banda. On the late president, I think people could have misunderstood you. Just explain your thoughts about it.
And I want to be very clear that I am extremely unhappy that as Zambians, we have been put in a situation where we have to debate a former head of state. I said in my comments, it could be anybody, but it happens to be our former head of state. I think I used the expression "tazisevanya." So for those who misunderstood me, I do not take this lightly. I do not. What I was to convey to people is that it's been going on for too long. It's been going on for too long. It is a shadow over this country. Nothing will go right for this country until that man, I said it again earlier, is put to rest. His soul is in limbo. We cannot expect the country to be at peace when chitumbitu chikalyoikiwa akalyonkhazikika. I use the expression contra natura. It's against nature. It's against our tradition. And we should be talking about this now. But we still are. I'm not happy about it. For people who think I said it's unimportant or I take it lightly, it's a misunderstanding. Get it very correct. I think of this situation as I think of my own father. Were it my own father, would I be happy that we are where we are today? And the answer is no. The answer is no. So I hope that clarifies, but I want it also to be very clear that we should not allow ourselves to forget the other issues that are sitting at the table. For the rest of the generation to come who are still living and are to live their lives, we must debate those issues. We must focus on those issues. That was what I meant to say. I hope that clarifies to the viewers.
Clear. I think we got you correctly, and I'm glad that you've amplified on the matters. My last question as we close to both of you, is Zambia able to hold democratic, credible, transparent, and free and fair elections? Are you going to participate in this process with all these matters that have been highlighted? The passing of Bill 7, the new electoral process bill that is before Parliament, that seems to disenfranchise and giving powers to ECZ and the Registrar of Societies instead of the courts. And the determination by this government to attempt to bar certain candidates. Either can pick up. Maybe let's start with Dolika, then we end with the president.
I think when you have a situation in a country where the people are pleading for opposition to unite and select one person, it means that our democracy is at risk. Our democracy is at risk. And democracy at risk means and fair election, a transparent and open election, is at risk. So I am not confident, I cannot say to the Zambian people today, standing where I am standing, that I believe this election in 2026 is going to be a free and fair election. We have been known for as a beacon of democracy in this country, in this region, a beacon of peaceful handover from one administration to the next. These are things that we have put now at the helm of ridicule, quite frankly. Maybe outsiders think it will be a free and fair election. I do not. When people are gagged, when people are threatened not to speak, when people are afraid to say anything, because you have blurred the lines between executive, legislature, judiciary, you cannot tell me that that is going to be a free and fair election. However, that does not mean that as an active citizen, as a proud Zambian, as a hopeful Zambian who believes in this country, I am not going to give it my all. We are not going to give it our all. So we will, fair or not, we will push through that August 13th date.
Thank you very much. Dr. Membe, it is very clear with the cyber laws, with the restricted democratic media and civic space, you highlighted that you've not even been allowed to hold any, political process, any public rally to appeal to recruit members and speak to Zambians. And we literally have tyranny in place, as Dolly Kabanda stated, where there's a blurred line between the legislator and the judiciary and the executive, and they all seem to be controlled by one person. And international bodies have all highlighted the extent to which we've sunk away from a democratic path. Just pick your thoughts as we go to this election.
The preparation for the next elections start at the end of one election. The preparations for the 2026 elections started at the end of the 2021 August elections, 11th August elections. Look at what has transpired between the last election and today. If it does create an atmosphere for holding free and fair elections. There were 22 observations made by the EU observation mission, 22, and they emphasized 6 of them as being very cardinal. They brought those observations to the Zambian government of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. There was agreement on the part of Mr. Hichilema to address those issues. It was easy at that time because they believed those were problems of PF that was outgoing. None of those 22 observations have been made to date. One of them was the repeal of the Public Order Act, or amending Public Order Act. Nothing has been done. Nothing. We had a meeting with the EU Observer Mission. We asked them these issues. They agreed with us that nothing has been done. So we asked them, you are coming again in August this year to observe elections. When the issues you raised in the last objection have not been met, despite the promise to do so, we expect it to be free and fair. I've already pointed out the freedom of assembly, the freedom of expression issues. It was possible to run parties in these 5 years of the UPND government. Even if your ward structures cannot have a meeting, we have over 1,800 wards in this country. To meet those wards, you should get a permit. It's not possible. We have had some of our leaders arrested and locked up in cells. We had an example in Ruwingu a year or so ago. Our provincial chairperson and a few of the provincial leaders who were just visiting, they stopped over on their way to Ruwingu in Ilunte to have a with the ward leadership to find out how things were going. They were arrested there. UPND cadres phoned the police. SP, they are having a meeting here. And they spent a night in cells. They were released the following day on conduct likely to cause the breach of peace. After paying, I don't know if it was 100 kwacha or what. That has been the order. I've already told you, we have applied 34 times to hold. We have never been given any opportunity. We are going into these elections, spending 5 years without addressing the people of this country. The only opportunity had to campaign is where there's a by-election. That's the only little opportunity. Even there, we were still being attacked by UPND cadres. Our vehicles destroyed. Our garage of destroyed vehicles. We have reported these matters to the police. The police has never had a single arrest. The people who are being arrested is our own cadres, including myself, trying to defend ourselves. There has been violence against us by UPND cadres. The police has done nothing. We have reported these cases all over the country where there were elections. They have enacted laws that were there, that were not there before, the cyber laws, that have made it very, very difficult for political operators to operate. So the atmosphere right now is worse than it was before the August 2021 elections. If you asked me, are we going to have free and fair elections? My answer is a categorical no. Are we going to participate? Yes, we're going to participate. What options do we have? What are the consequences of boycotting these elections? Even in soccer, they don't run soccer that way. You have 70-something laws being passed just before the tournament. A football, the World Cup, just a week before the World Cup, you change all the rules. When are the teams going to practice under those rules? You have changed the offside rules. You are changing the penalty rules. You are changing the rules of a corner. You are changing the rules under which a goalkeeper operates. A goalkeeper will forget because the rules are just 1 week. So even World Cup is 4 years. Preparations for the next World Cup start immediately the other World Cup finishes. You are allowed to have friendlies. You are allowed to change this and that. Nationalities of players can be arranged or changed under that 4-year period. What Mr. Hichilema and the UPND are doing make it impossible to have free and fair elections. We wonder if even peaceful elections can be held under these conditions. So what we are going to have on the 13th of August are sham elections. Sham elections. That's what we're...
Indeed, sham elections, sham elections. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Dr. Fred Membe and Dolly Kabanda for coming to this show. And we spent almost 2.5 hours together discussing various national issues from the 74 bills before Parliament. Just a few weeks before we are filing of nominations, you have 74 bills that have to be passed. You have members of Parliament that have crossed floors and they are not even being removed from Parliament. We discussed everything from the cancellation of the Rights Conference, one of the biggest international conferences. We discussed the matter affecting Zambia's 6th president, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. we've discussed various issues, including this particular matter, whether Zambia is able to hold democratic, credible, free and fair elections. For all the callers today, I know you keep on calling. Thank you so much. You can keep on commenting on the comments below. We were hosting 2 people, so we had to accommodate them and to ensure that we get their thoughts. Because, you know, there's a likelihood of misunderstanding if you cut them very short. Just look at that question on ECL, how it nearly spiraled out of control when actually Honorable Dorika Banda was very clear in her thoughts. So that is the purpose. So don't feel crowded out. I know it is your show, but you can still go down and make comments. Mr. President and Dorika Banda, thank you very much. We wish you well in your endeavor. And I love the passion you demonstrated to work for our country. That should be the agenda. And everyone should be aligned around the cause of our country, not the cause of personalities or the cause of positions, but the cause of our country. To our dear viewers, until we have another set of guests, thank you very much and God bless you.
Mukyalo kyesu twaba n'omulando wakuti ng'ekyalo ekyakwata obuteeko twalifirwafye okumpwana n'olupwa lw'abayashi abaleteeka kino kyalo ba Edi Kalungu apo bakwila twala kumanisha n'omwaka utuntulu okwabula okuti tubashiike tupitafye nomba mu bintu byakutushikula ng'ekyalo n'okutuleetera omuseebanya okubika pofye n'okukyusha emipashi gya lupwa lwabo apo obuteeko bwesu mu maka n'amaano yaiko nabushininkisha okuti ekitumbi kyasungwa kula ku South Africa kitumbi ky'abayashi tekitumbi kya muntu mundi n'okutiila nabushininkisha ikyalengera enfo y'abayashi bushenomba bwalafika mu kumpwana n'olupwa pakuti tubombye omulimo twaba n'okubomba ng'ekyalo obuteeko bwesu bwatuweebere okuti bwalilesha olupwa okushiika abayashi kula ku South Africa bwayana makooti pakuti bwipeera enshita yakulanshanya n'olupwa nandakai milandu eri ku makooti bushitwala mpo okuti apo obuteeko nabushininkisha okuti kitumbi ky'abayashi kyabakuba basungira abafa ku South Africa amba bwala leka n'okutwisha emilandu yaku makooti n'okutamba okulanda n'olupwa ala ekyalo kyashikulwa paafula kufira ekitwa ku kitumbi kya muntu watubombele emirimu yakuteeka ekyalo kyesu enshita naifika yakukwisha obwafya bw'abapo mukulanda n'okukita ifyakishinka eryo n'ekyamufuma kiwuyi afwebekala kyalo natwende n'obuteeko bwesu n'olupwa lw'abayashi mukubasaalikira pakuti bafike mukumpwana kwa mulinganya
Bakulu. Every youth
The sound magician. Wi-Fi on the beat, boy.
Twakupele voting ngatawa bomba Twakupele voting ngatawa bomba Tawali mone voting ngatawa bomba Tawali mone voting ngatawa bomba Pantuno mwaka Uya bebele Twanakane mwe Mwachila mobufi Kuya bebele Twamwanele numa Kuya bebele Mwachila mobufi Mwalitula ile ona lebwati mukesa tupangira kwemisebo Twali mipele ne voti ati mukesa tupangira kwemisebo Nimwewo mwatile mukesa tukulira ne chipatala ifwe Nimwewo mwatile mukesa tukulira na masukulu kuno Ukutula po twabisalila ifwe Mwalitula baona lebo Imisebo ala ya gonaika Ichipatala takwaba kuno Abana besu basambilila mufi mutifya mango Bana mayo mapapila mungande Zipatala takwaba kuno Imisepila chose malofwa Bapepa tebange Fama lelilo mufunda tawafika Nembuto tashafika Ukutula po twamisalila ifwe Mwalitula baona lebo Nomba lelo mabwela imwe Mulefwa ya tumivotere Twakupele voting ngatawa bomba Twakupele voting ngatawa bomba Tawali mone voting ngatawa bomba Tawali mone voting ngatawa bomba Pantuno mwaka Kuya bebele Twanakane mwe Mwachila mobufi Kuya bebele Twamwanele numa Kuya bebele Mwachila mobufi Kuno mwaka tulefa ya bakutubombera Nota bakwisa kuno mukuzembereka Mukutwibira mano nga twabavotera abaya Nangu mwatupele ndalama tulepo kata twamivotere Nidonti kubeba Wapoka walya Nidonti kubeba Wapoka walya Ababina chimwe na mwekole Uko bafuma balinaba Bayi kutapiza Bala boko bafuma Bayi kutapai Bala bati bakabwela Balya chikeni nena mabanu inapana kaso Wala ona lebo mulabeja Ukutula po twamisalila ifwe Walitula baona lebo Nomba lelo mabwela imwe Mulefa ya tumivotere